Really, Albino Joe with these reses here.
Yeah, this one was big. You know, we give Wang Zhang Tower a lot of credit for knowing how to play structured, but like we also said, they have the players who know how to jump in and make the plays. And this is so bad for Wang Zhang Tower. And Albino Joe, untouched, casually walks in, gets the 4-man res, and then watches TK Thrifty follow up with one of the misplays of the week.
Yep.
Play of the game gonna be Teenic on the Lucio, taking you down to Boop City.
Ooh, there's one. And just gonna do a 360, casual 360. There's another one.
Oh man. So, play of the game gonna be Albino Joe on that Symmetra.
Cool.
Right here in overtime.
Oh! Fully charged up there. Oh man.
Having a Winston, all of the maps.
Oh, and here comes the play of the game with Zedicus on the Reaper.
Oh, it comes in behind, clean, clutch ult, takes down 3, and then is just pumping the Winston full of damage.
No one was expecting it.
Do play a game 3 for those tiebreakers, so it won't be over. Jim coming up big. He's gonna have a huge hammer down here.
Yep. Jim mad, Jim smash. This is not your Bruce Banner. He's gonna fucking. In comes the Mercy Rays. Down comes the Slam. Jim's gonna find himself with a lot of people. Fire Strike gets one. Slam picks up another.
So good.
What?
Oh! Interesting.
What the? Alright, let's see what's going down here. Gonna huff some paint. Time to roll.
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
He knocked him off.
He knocks off the solo Zen.
I've got another confession.
Huge 4-man res coming out of Albino. Kills himself with the barrage again.
Everyone's got their chains to break.
Are you serious?
Holding you. Were you born to resist or be
30 falls into the hole, but shifts out and shifts back into the hole.
Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best?
Ever get that feeling of deja vu?
The best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best.
Ever get that feeling of deja vu?
The best, the best, the best, the best, the best.
If that's our best player, this is going to be a Clown Fiesta.
The best, the best, the best, the best.
Hello and welcome to the week 4 of the Batty Overwatch League Season 3, and this is your pre-game show with me, UTech, and Albino Joe, aka Joey, aka my co-caster, and Man-at-Arms. How's it going, man?
Going great. Let's do this.
So, this game's weeks, we have See You in the Finals versus Very Aggressive Genji in Game 1, and Winstony Baloney versus Lenny Face in Game 2. So we're gonna, and of course, on the top tippity top there we have Wang Zhang Tower on the taking a bye week, so they're not playing, so you don't have to worry about them this week. But been seeing a little bit of shifting, and I believe you have stats from last current stats going on, Joey.
How do you mean current stats? Like
Placements, man. Placements. Current standings.
standings? Well, I mean the standings are right in front of us on the stream. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I want you to announce them. This is well, give and take.
Well, Wang Zhang Tower is on top 7-2.
Oh,
best team ever.
I didn't want to say anything.
I do. They're on top. Just let it be. We have a bye week. No one's going to catch us. All right, Winstony Baloney, Very Aggressive Genji, and CU in the finals, all in some weird three-way mingle in the middle of the pack. But I guess this week is going to decide, hopefully, where each of those teams stand. And Lenny Face bringing up the rear on the bottom.
So now, when Stony Baloney is going against Lennyface, do you think, seeing as Lennyface is 2-7, do you think they can kick it up, or is this going to be, easy wins for when Stony Baloney?
I don't know. I mean, this is definitely a week that Lennyface has to show up. If they don't, they're gonna continue to stay there. I mean, they have a lot of ground to gain, but it is only week 4. We have a 10-week season. There's plenty of games to be had, but it's not looking too good this early in with Lennyface, picking up the bottom. Not by a I don't want to say it's considerable margin since they haven't had a bye yet. Wang Jing Tower and Lennyface are the only two that still have to get their byes. Wang Jing, of course, getting their bye this week, but Lennyface is kind of at a disadvantage when it comes to that kind of 4-game straight run to see if they can actually do some work. But this is the last game of the first half of the season for them, I think, and they got to show up.
And of course, we also have. I think the bigger thing we're gonna have to be looking out for is gonna be seeing the finals versus very aggressive Genji. They're both 3-3, but definitely gonna be vying for that that second place standing. You have any? I mean, I think it's gonna be a very interesting game, mainly because if I remember correctly, you have very aggressive Genji likes to run the Genji, and see you in the finals. Don't they also like running the Genji?
Uh, you know, this is going to be a battle of the Genjis. I do see that happening. Chromatic, of course, notorious for that, weeb stick that he brings to the battlefield. But Wii also kind of has that exact same vibe. They both main Genji, it seems. So that game's going to be really interesting to watch to see which Genji comes out on top.
Exactly, and I mean, if what happens on the theoretical chance that they both have, the same skills or whatnot, I'm gonna obviously Chromatic has a higher SR rating. He's was it he's in Masters, so a little higher than Wii U, but I think it's definitely gonna be playing on the supporting cast. Who's tanking, who's off tanking. Are they gonna have an Ana? Are they gonna be able to get the Nano Blade coming in and just wreck face? I think we're gonna definitely be seeing a lot of remnants of the of dive comp going in.
And I think that seeing the finals also has a good supporting cast to help with the Genji. I know that Team Boosted Friendship 2.0, seeing the finals, can show up and theory craft and come up with whatever they need to support whatever characters they think they need to support. But I don't know if very aggressive Genji might have that supporting cast as well as you said the Ana with the Nano Blade, other flankers or other front linemen, whatever they need for the the fights. But yeah, again, we'll see. All I know is that there's going to be 2 Genjis, 2 Weeb Sticks, 1 winner. Could be down to that.
Right, and then so going from that, I think we can definitely talk about some of the upcoming news for these games. So, with how things are going along, it looks like there is a bug, and Orisa is the culprit on what's going on. Apparently, she's able to charge her ultimate even when she's using her ultimate. So, from what I'm hearing, is she's able to just chain her damage boost infinitely. I mean, you got a Gatling gun with 150 shots. You're gonna top off. You're gonna top off again and again and again and again. So until Blizzard gets their rear in the gear, she's out.
I thought that was a buff though.
I mean, considering everything can counter Orisa, I think maybe it was an intended buff.
Yeah, it might be a quote unquote bug. Who knows? Maybe Blizzard thought that Orisa needs a buff, but this might be too drastic. We'll give it a shot. But
I mean, I think she's
yeah.
secretly a support player. That's just how it goes.
Oh yeah.
And other news for the league, the new map, the Lunar Space Colony, called. I'm guessing I'm actually calling it. calling it correctly, but I don't. The one
I
on
think
the
that's what
moon.
it is.
Yeah, the lunar space colony on the moon. This week and next week, week 5, gonna be out. Not gonna be playable. So gives everyone a chance to practice up on it. I played a few games on it. It's pretty fun, especially when you go out into the airlock.
Yeah, that 0G or semi-zero G feel. I mean, that's an interesting place to fight. I can't wait until we start playing that map.
I definitely think it's Lucio's wet dream every time you go out there.
Oh God.
See somebody.
The
Oh,
boops take
I
forever.
have nightmares. It's just a slow boop.
It's
like
the real feel of being drifting. You're just drifting away from wherever terra firma is, and you just never to be seen again. And you're done. And it takes ages. You don't die for ages. It's terrible.
it's like what is it? 2001 Space Odyssey. Just that the opening.
Scary, man.
Other than that, moving on, I think the next big changes we had were from the patch notes. So 2 people are in, 1 is out. Can you guess who?
Oh God. I know that the person that's out is definitely Roadhog.
Yeah, so Roadhog has gotten a nerf. So looking at his patch notes, his damage of his scrap gun has been decreased by 33%. His fire rate was increased to 30%, and clip size was increased from 4 to 5. So he can no longer really do the, hook him in and one-shot him anymore. Unless maybe, well, even not to a tracer, you're gonna have to at least damage him a little more. The caveat to that is that the head hitbox size was reduced by 20%, so you're not going to be his head isn't going to be like a big old target like Arissa's is, but that's what you get when you're an autistic battle goat. So
Yeah, I don't know. That change is big. Roadhog can no longer just grab someone, pull him in, and kill him. Like I've pulled in Annas that just slept me after I shot him, and it just sucked. And you can't kill him no matter what, and that's the only reason why you pick Roadhog is for the Gibbs.
right, and I think it's going to take a lot of getting used to for a lot of people, because a lot of people when they play Roadhog like to just flank from the side, get that hook, get that pick, bam, 6v5.
Yep. So now you
Um,
need help with your team. You need help from
Yeah,
the team. That's the point.
it's like
of it.
you
Now
actually
Roadhog's
need
more of
to
a team
play with
player.
teamwork or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know who'd want to do that.
But the second, the second of 3 characters that were changed was the. Let's talk about the McCree.
Yeah,
McCree's ult is now it's faster charging at the beginning, but I think it's slower overall. I forgot exactly what it was.
it begins locking after 0.2 seconds instead of 0.8, and then a damage accumulates over the first 1 second, increasing from 20 to 80. So basically, as always, whenever you get that red little dot going on, that's when you can kill him. And after that, it's kind of it'll help him definitely pick off a lot of people, and it'll definitely help him get that dead eye out a lot faster, so people won't be able to react to it as quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main point is that he does damage faster as opposed to being useless for that first half second or 0.8 or whatever it was at the start. So
It's
I
basically
think overall
like
it's a
first,
fair buff.
Yeah, I agree with it. I think it'll make it more fun for him. Make people think like, oh shit, there's a McCree, instead of being like, oh hey, it's just a McCree. All right, I think we'll be fine.
Yep. Well, anyway, the third and final and potentially coup de grace buff is Reaper.
Yeah, Reaper. So, and none of his damage got changed. None of his movement got changed. It's how it's his passive. Instead of, they got rid of the collectathon of the health orbs, and now he has a straight 20% of all damage done to heroes. He gets back his health, so he basically has a death, a morbid mask if you play Dota 2, and a scythe, or what's what's the lifesteal item in League of Legends?
Vampiric Scepter?
Vampiric Scepter, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually, I think it's pretty stupid. Actually, I have someone, or I know someone who said someone's done the math out there. I know somebody who knows somebody that says apparently Reaper, if he does enough damage to a Winston by getting headshots, he can out damage the Winston's gun in lifesteal. So he's
Yes.
essentially invincible to Winstons. So keep that in mind
Yeah.
going into these games, guys.
Yeah, that's gonna be very, very detrimental to people who like to play the Winston. I mean, like a lot of people, especially with the dive comp, use the Winston just to be able to pick a lot of people off. And now with the Reaper, if he's staying in that little bubble and everyone's, I think it'll be good in the sense that people will maybe start grouping up a little bit more, because with the flank meta, a lot of people just wanted to go off and do their own thing, which I thought was very fun. I really enjoyed the dive comp meta, but you know, who knows? Maybe with the Reaper changes, it'll shift in the mid SR ranks.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a fairly strong buff to Reaper, but we will see how it plays out.
All right. So, all right, Joey, I got another topic for us to talk about. So we really talk a lot about, you know, the big players. You know, you got Chromatic, you got 30, you got Chill Out. You know, big damage dealers able to, you know, put a lot of pressure onto everybody. But what about the supporting characters? People that are, you know, healing, making sure we're all healthy. Like, who do you think's doing a good job out there?
Um, I don't know. Of the are you talking of the non A-list players who's kind of showing up and doing their job?
Yeah, who do you think's
Uh,
doing a good job playing, like, you know, the main healers nowadays, or any sort of form of support?
as for supports, I would say I don't know. I think Gotch. I know that I've talked to him personally a couple times about his gameplay, and he's always looking to get better. He's always looking for advice on how to improve. I think when Stony Baloney is going to be looking at a team in general, that team is going to just increase in power as time goes on. They're a team that likes to practice and likes to improve. They're not mindless solo queuers, much like a person that I know, aka myself. But I don't know. I think that's one honorable mention. What do you think? What kind of people out there are you seeing that's showing up?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I was actually gonna say Scotch as well because definitely a lot of I mean, he plays a lot of Mercy, so he's getting a lot of that res value. You know, out of a lot of the Mercy players, you know, Swift likes to play Mercy a lot. I know even you've been kind of relegated to more of a Mercy role. So, hey, you've been doing some pretty good work on our team. Hey, good job.
Woo!
And who? I mean, you also have well, T-Mic. I gotta give shout out Sword Mace. But what is it? I'm trying to see. Uh, who else has really been playing some good support roles? Because you don't really see too many of those in the plays of the game anymore. I'm trying to think here. I brought up the question. I didn't even have an answer.
Oh, well, another person, kind of a support that's been showing up. I believe Dano. Dano's kind of an Ana player, and he's, you know, seeing the finals is staying alive. You're not seeing him get picked off or wiped that much. That could be between the shot calling that's going on with the team and staying grouped, and maybe they're healers, Dano. So, um, yeah, I don't know.
No, I think so. I mean, I think it'll give us something for next week to kind of look out for some of the lower named people or who aren't in the spotlight, and just kind of give them a shout out to make sure that everyone's getting a little bit of attention.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, it's funny. I'm trying to think of players on very aggressive Genji, but they had a bye week last week, so we'll see if they show up with whatever characters they got going on, and I'm hoping to see some plays of the game. I know that Chromatic and Josh Danko had theirs, but your Pen Dry showed up with that Symmetra play of the game. They have some hidden talent in there. I think next week that's going to be something to talk about, seeing how their game ends up going against. See you in the finals.
Yeah, I know it's hard to remember, who's facing who because everyone's. It's only 4 weeks in, even though we should probably have all this memorized by now. But it's we're still working out some of the kinks.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I'd like to inform everyone right now that Jim just came out with his diss track on Snapchat. So if you're not friends with him, add him as Jimbo, and he will, rap at you, say some
That's
words.
right. That's right. I should actually do that. I am not friends with Jim on Snapchat, and that kind of hurts my feelings. Jim, if you're listening, add me, man, or I'll add you.
Yeah,
I'll get your information. It'll
Yeah,
happen.
if he's listening, he could post his Snapchat information into the Twitch channel so people can keep track. I believe AJS also dropped one earlier this morning that I listened to. That was pretty sick, and I'm
Yeah,
feeling
no,
left out.
I heard that one.
I'm feeling
That's
left out. We need to designate a rapper on our team, UTech.
I can do limericks. I can do like white people raps. Like I'm not like stuff like back from the 1800s. Iambic pentameter shit.
All right, we're redefining rap, and we're gonna come up with our own raps. We're doing it.
All right, you got it, man. You got it.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, are our teams ready? Do we know that yet? All right. Well, I think we're about to shut down us. I know that you love our voices, but we want to see some games, and we also want to see some play from See in the Finals and Very Aggressive Genji. UTech, is there anything you want to add out before we close?
Yeah. You guys will get some games in about a minute, so stick around.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Batty Overwatch League, Week 4. I am 30, and tonight I am joined by Albino Joe. How you doing?
Doing great.
Nice. And like you hyped up in the pregame, here in Match 1, we got very aggressive Genji going against CU in the finals. Might be a weeb battle, you know? Top 10 anime battle coming in here with some Genjus.
A lot of Genjus, and I'm expecting it to be really action-packed because they're both top-tier Genji players. So I don't know why they wouldn't be fighting on the side, making their own little thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And yeah, we skipped the map draft, folks. It's real boring, just teams banning what they don't like, which is all two-point maps, obviously. And yeah, as a note, if you haven't heard in the pre-show, Arisa will be disabled this week due to a bug with her supercharger. And Horizon map moon thing is also banned for 2 weeks. But the map we're playing here in map 1 of match 1 is Ilios. It's a very popular map in the Batty Overwatch League.
Yeah, it is. I feel like we see almost every team play this map. I feel like almost every matchup has played this map already. It's pretty neutral, I guess. I don't know.
I think
Neutral
people
when it
like
comes to
it.
team talent.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think that's why a lot of teams maybe spring for the King of the Hill maps, because you don't have to have like all of these nice strats with defending certain areas on the payload maps, or 2CP getting cheese ran over first point and then snowballing into your second one. It's just a nice, fun, neutral map, and I think the reason people like Ilios is because it has a lot of boop, a lot of environmental kills possible.
Well, yeah, that, and it's got a big sky for Pharahs, and Junkrats can shoot around, and soldiers can play, and it's just I feel like it's a very champion neutral map. There are some that shine, but at the end of the day, you can play almost anyone on these.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, the 3 maps vary in between long, medium, and short range encounters. And we're gonna be heading to Ruins here first, sort of the long range map out of the 3. And it's gonna be very aggressive Genji on the blue side and C in the finals on the red side. And it looks like, yeah, they're bringing out these weep sticks to start it off here.
I saw your pen dry lock in that Symmetra. I was so excited for you, buddy. You couldn't stick with it, and that's understandable. Symmetra's not good on this first map, or any of the maps really for this. I guess she's probably the only one that's not good overall.
Yep. And both teams moving towards this right side, this big mega on the side of the map here. Both teams trading back and forth here. Going by Wii on the Genji, but Dano's actually going to pick up the first blood here for CU in the finals, and they have congregated onto the point. Zed playing this Mei, also something to take note here. And it looks like they have a pretty firm grasp of this first team fight and will most likely win the point.
Very aggressive Genji just fell one by one. As soon as that Mercy fell, the rest of the team followed suit almost every 2 or 3 seconds. That was a very convincing and slow win by CU in the finals, and I don't know if it was an intentional tempo or not, but that's kind of what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very formal, very slow going team fight there. Not a lot of craziness, and I have to wonder where the focus is coming from. Very aggressive Genji here on this first team fight, but here they are. They're getting walled off around the mid, having to go onto this left side flank.
Yeah, going into that little tunnel of death against Winston is not the smartest move, and they've kind of figured that out as they pack off, and the Mercy gets picked off again. Crystallize is having a rough time.
Yeah, and now both supports are down for very aggressive Genji. Think twice though, trading back the first kill of the map for them, and Chromatic has that Discord on him, and he's going to go down as well. Primal Rage is channeled, and Danish is going to be knocking them around a little bit, just further delaying them getting down to this point. It's already 50% here for CU in the finals.
Yeah, it's a very convincing win. CU in the finals is holding the point without even staying. And the flankers on very aggressive Genji are kind of non-existent.
Yeah, but here comes the res, but straight into the Graviton surge here. Soundbarrier comes through from AJ0 to top him off, but is it even needed? Very aggressive Genji's not even going to touch him, they're just going to die. And yeah, we're approaching the 75% mark, almost 80%, so really only one good team fight left for very aggressive Genji, and they have 2 offensive supports in Dragon Blade and Tactical Visor.
And they got to group up after such a clean wipe that C in the finals was able to do on them. They should all be grouped, but it seems like they're flanking and splitting right now as Chromatic gets onto the point, and hopefully the rest of the team should follow or get picks or something.
Oh, Dan, I don't know where he was jumping to, but jumps off, and Chromatic already picked up 2 kills of this fight here, but Crystallize, one of the supports, once again, for very aggressive Genji, does go down. Zed laying down the Mayall, and he's going to pick up 2 here. Dragon Blade popped by Chromatic. Can he pick this up? Can he clutch for his team and keep the dream alive? It's only him and Josh Danko on this point, and they're both going to go down. Overtime will slowly tick away, and See You in the finals takes map 1 decisively.
Very convincingly, and I think something that might be noted to change for next game is Thor. I know plays a lot of Roadhog, but that nerf to him totally neutered his damage, especially with the picks. So I don't know how that's going to affect him, if he's going to switch off that Roadhog or if he's going to stay on and keep playing the nerf champion.
Yeah, I think that's something you have to fear if you're a very aggressive Genji fan out there. Even one of his teammates, he might actually truly only be good on that Roadhog. But yeah, like you said in the pre-show along with you, Techie, he is heavily nerfed. I mean, it wasn't even a nerf, folks. Blizzard just wanted to remove him from the meta entirely. So
he's not a character anymore.
He's not a character anymore, not in the eyes of many. But he did switch off, though. He's on to this Winston now, playing a little more typical dive meta composition here with Think Twice on this Reaper.
And I think this is a great team, especially with that Reaper buff. They see it. Josh Danko playing a more aggressive champion that can start carrying. We'll see how it goes on this first point as the Maywall goes up.
Wow, that's a really clutch Maywall. Takes out Chromatic and Thor. The front line as they were diving in, totally punishing them for that aggressive move. But Josh Danko, Think Twice, the 2 DPS characters for very aggressive Genji. They're trying to turn this one back. Zarya bubbles are coming through from Blab, and he's going to remain high charge, and they're going to cap the point.
With a lot of scatter fight going on, it looks like now very aggressive Genji is going to back off, try and regroup and rally their players here, as Wii is kind of fronting, flexing on them, doing some things.
Yeah,
now they're pushing to the point.
Yep, jump in from Thor, trying to zone out Wui on this Genji. Gets him extremely low, so he has to back away. Josh Danko, he's going to pick up the first blood of this fight. Maywall comes through, but doesn't trap anyone necessarily. Both teams now just started fighting the 6v5 battle. Lots of people on the point for very aggressive Genji.
And it looks like Josh Danko is going to kill himself on a rocket on Wee-Wee's face. That is just brutal. And it looks like very aggressive Genji is still going to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that early pick really decided the fight for them. It was just a very easy 6v5 fight. They took it on their own terms and found the opening and didn't lose a single person to the enemy, at least. Josh Danko with the suicide, but he is back now onto this point. And Think Twice, he goes up with the Shadow Step. He's looking for the big flank. He's 96% on this ult charge for the Reaper. Primal Rage is channeled for Thor. Just trying to create some havoc, create some craziness. Both Winston's Mad Monkey mode. Josh Danko, Rocket Barrage over the top through a Death Blossom. But not many people dying. The Transcendence comes out of See You in the finals. And they might win this one decisively, but Crystallize comes back with a 2-man res. It's almost a fair number fight here. Graviton comes through.
There's no damage to follow that up. There's way too much going on right now. Too many people are dying.
So many ultimates.
Another Graviton from very aggressive Genji getting the kill. Thor picked those up, and looks like they're gonna hold that point.
Yeah, wow. Actually, Graviton does a small amount of damage. People didn't know, and that little symbol there. Chromatic actually killed Dana with the grab surge damage.
That is weird.
It's like killing someone like with a flashbang type thing. But wow, yeah, very aggressive Genji. They had so many ultimates. They had to use all of them. Extremely long fight. They retained the point. Both teams pretty dry in the ult well, and Think Twice is gonna pick up first blood. Headshot onto the Bluers Winston. He gets answered back though, and here we go. Very aggressive Genji, playing forward and playing up front, and they are dealing the damage. They're not able to even touch the point for See You in the finals. Baby Diva pops out, and yeah, he'll take the suicide.
My ultimate is charging.
I don't know if it's gonna be fast enough to reset though.
No, they got about 7 seconds to get on this point really quick, and I don't know if anyone's there to do it except for the Winston. Blabur on the side might jump on, and he did, but in time he goes!
Oh, that's the way to start that one off. And Josh Danko, Rocket Barrage, quick little 180, picks up 3 kills casually, and Dano is demeched and dead. And very aggressive Genji gonna take map 2 back.
1-1. We got a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, we got a game. Yeah, but a lot better organization for very aggressive Genji. You know, Blighted is a little bit smaller map, so the choke point's a little easier to sort of scope and play around. Ruins can really be a very far spread battle. But we'll see here on Lighthouse. This could be a real tricky one.
Yeah, again, you know, this is another very, you know, there's some obvious characters that are good on this map, such as Lucio. You know, Farrah could be considered a good pick too, but there's also a lot of very, you know, neutral players. You could play Junkrat on this if you really wanted to. Maybe we'll see some star picks from each team.
Yeah, and like you said, the Farrah, and that's going to come through for both of these teams, and the Mercies as well, AGS0 and Crystallize, respectively. So yeah, it's going to be some pharmacy battles, and both teams are also running the Soldier, so it hit scan fight as well, but it's going to be a Zenyatta for CU in the final, so maybe that extra little bit to win the air superiority, and they do. Josh Danko goes down, but Think Twice answers back with a Helix Rocket to Dano. 1-for-1 fight right now as they fight around this mid courtyard. Chromatic can pick up one more, and oh, another straight 4v4 here, and now they have moved on to the point. They're trying to go for HS0, and they finally take him out. And it looks like a one fight for very aggressive Genji, but Wii was doing everything he can to delay this. And there it is. The pop point pops over to very aggressive Genji.
Yeah, and it seems like that was a suicide by the Winston Dano on CU in the finals, I'm assuming. Unless that was unintentional, I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah, we got a cap point for very aggressive Genji.
Yeah, and Chromatic already with the Graviton extremely quickly here.
And it's great that they're switching roles too. Josh Danko on that DPS, as you mentioned earlier, Chromatic taking the tank position, and they're doing work with it. That's good.
Yeah.
That they have a very depthy team where they can switch tanks to DPS and still do great.
Yeah, exactly. And going up against Blabur, he plays a lot of D.Va as well. The Zarya D.Va matchup doing very well. And we with this Rocket Barrage to start the fight off, and 3 of the enemy team is picked up. Crystallize. Nice, but it's once again res right back into a Graviton. Or actually, no, wait, that was the Chromatic's Graviton. But during all of this, CU in the finals actually capped the point.
I don't know what's happening right now. It looks like Thor's just going to monkey around and contest. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get anything done. But I don't know if very aggressive Genji has to back off and regroup if they're going to win this point.
Yep. Possibly a little staggered, too staggered there for your Pendra and Thor, like you mentioned. The Primal Rage, not a lot of people there to follow up on him. And now Think Twice, he gets staggered hard. He was in the back balcony area.
This is actually looking very grim for very aggressive Genji, seeing how CU in the finals has almost all of their ults, with Wii U the only one not having it yet. But I think they're going to hold this for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's the fair prediction. If they spread these ults out correctly, really juicing the value out of having the superior ult economy. And here it is, Sound Barrier from your Pendry actually onto very aggressive Genji. They're going to start this fight off. Trans to counter and keep him alive. Zed now activating the attack visor, but he goes down quickly to Josh Danko. He picks up 2 before he goes down. Chromatic is there to save his Mercy for a little bit longer, and wow, wait a minute, this actually seems like a pretty fair fight here. Chromatic and the Mercy Crystallize are in a 2v2 battle against the Zen and the D.Va. The D.Va's gonna pick him up and Chromatic has to run away.
Yeah, there's a lot of ults blown on CU in the finals, but also very aggressive Genji used every single one of their ults as well. So again, ult economy still in favor of CU in the finals. Not really grouping on very aggressive Genji's side either. It looks like they're doing a little bit of a stagger fight with your Pendry getting on point, with still 20% to spare, dying.
By him, yeah, front line, Lucio play, hello, and yeah, that is not good. He might get up just in time because he is Lucio to get back in group with his team, but they're gonna have to go in and touch without him for this one. But CU in the finals, like you said, the 2 ultimates, these are so important to have in this last fight, res and self-destruct.
But they
Graviton
pick
comes
off
through.
AJS, so it
They-
doesn't even matter.
Oh, they take out the res. That's huge. Blabur still with the self-destruct will use it to clear them off the point and maybe take down overtime for a little bit and picks up 2 kills there. Wee on the rocket barrage over the top.
That's a
And
team kill.
yeah, that's a team wipe. And see you in the finals, leading this one 2-1.
And that fight could have went very well for very aggressive Genji, especially with that pick on the AJS at the beginning on that Mercy res. But looks like they couldn't clean up. 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. It's a close one. That a lot of fighting back and forth on Lighthouse, but we go back to Well, which is the one see you in the finals, or no, very aggressive Genji won already. So they're looking for a second win here to even it up. Zed on the Reaper now, not on this Mei. He's rotated off that, even though I thought it had pretty great effect on this one.
Yeah, I think his Mei was very important to their team strat. I felt he was able to make them space and also trap a couple people while he was at it. But the Reaper pick again with his quote-unquote buffs might not be a bad pick either.
Yeah. Potentially very good against. Oh, Thor gets knocked in with the concussive blast and an early first pick for CU in the finals. Air superiority is definitely established. But wait a minute, Josh Tanko on the fair of his own, he answers back. So maybe that second stagger death a little more important. He gets a boop in onto Babluer on this Roadhog. Chromatic's now coming through. And what turned into a really nice first pick turns into a one fight by very aggressive Genji. And he does take out Josh Tango before he goes down, but that's the only prize he's gonna get. And very aggressive Genji hold the point.
That was a very good hold. That was looking very grim for him at the start with the Thor suicide into the well. But yeah, they were able to hold it up and take it for themselves.
Yep, and the Babur on this Roadhog. So we were already talking about it earlier about the nerf state of Roadhog. Really, how useful is he? But looking for some effectiveness here for Babur. Maybe just looking for the hook potential onto the backline. He tries to flank, misses the first one, and Winston Bubble trying to keep their supports alive for very aggressive Genji. Chrome gonna demech Dano, and one support down for CU in the finals, and that's gonna be the fight.
Again, another very convincingly won fight by very aggressive Genji. It seems like this well map is theirs. Also, the Blabur switch to the Roadhog is not doing them any favors.
No, and he gets a tiny bit staggered there at the end, but just 50% though for the very aggressive team. And Blabur, he's still on the Roadhog, but he has 85% ult charge, so he'll look probably for the whole hog and then maybe switch off here. They do have the res and the rocket barrage, so Pharmacy a little strong here. Josh Danko though, he's gonna pull out it before they can, and he picks up the Pharmacy of the enemy team. Oh, Graviton was eaten though, so that's big.
That was, but the stagger is still there. CU in the finals does not have a full team behind them to push anymore, so not yeah, I don't know. Oh, I guess that Graviton came from Chromatic, didn't it? Or,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Eaten up by Dano. I guess it doesn't really matter. They lost the fight anyway, so it would have just really been a full team wipe or just a few staggered kills, which they took as the moment to breathe and relax and try to get their bearings on this last fight coming in. Death Blossom from Zedekis picks up Crystallize, so no res for very aggressive Genji in this last fight, but they're not even able to get on the point to force overtime.
And that fight began with Wii ulting the backline, it seemed, but he wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to get a kill, and Josh Danko just went above him and shot him in the face and
Yeah, that was nice.
ripped the ult.
Yeah. But yeah, wow, 2-2 here on Ilio, so Ruins will be the decider. And see, in the finals, they won this 100% to 0. So I think maybe it just had a little bit of a warm-up for very aggressive Genji, you know. They came out, looked real sloppy, but they've tuned it up on the last 4.
Well, keep in mind, too, that they came out of a bye week, and I don't think that they've practiced with this new patch. They were playing Roadhog for that first point for the majority of the time. So maybe they got the kinks out now. Who knows what this team's going to look like now that they're playing this map the second time.
Yep, very true. But maybe the nerves are kicking in here. See who will take map 1. of match number 1. And the right side, very fast Lucio play from CU in the finals. And Zed gets all the way into the back line, takes out Think Twice on this Reaper. Josh Danko gonna answer back though on the ace player of CU in the finals. And Josh Danko, he's going huge. Triple kill for him on this Pharah. Completely untouched. No hit scan is targeting him. Zed not having the range to take him out. And it's only the front line for CU in the finals. And they're gonna have to back up. Just kidding, Blue. He's gonna keep baiting this one out. He gets demeched, and the point will go over to very aggressive Genji.
And that was pretty convincing. I know Blabur was trying to stall for time. I don't know what time. I don't know what he was expecting. But he did whatever he was doing, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. But he dies relatively quickly, so pretty quick regroup.
Something to note very quick too is that Zed switched off of the Reaper on him, so hopefully he can deal with Josh Danko crystallizing the sky, and it looks like he's doing something about it.
Yep, you don't want to get those untouched triple kills from the enemy Pharah. And Babur, he's going to take out Chromatic to start this one off. Think Twice answering back for him as well. So another quick, even fight. It always seems to happen this way between the two teams. Trades back and forth. Now Crystallize getting jumped on by Wheelie. And going back and forth, your Pendrai is the only guy on the point for very aggressive Genji. He's going to go down, and the team will go down. See you in the final is going to cap it.
And Thor taking the smart move of running back to the team and trying to regroup. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Wait for the rest of the team now. And that shows you what that Zed switch from the Reaper did. I mean, they were able to deal with Josh Danko very convincingly.
Yeah. Graviton from Chromatic, Sound Barrier from very aggressive Genji, and now the Sound Barrier from HSR on to see you in the finals. Dragon Blade is popped, Rocket Barrage, it's just press all your ultimates, 2 Mad Monkeys, and oh my god, what is going on?
Waiting for Crystallize to use ult, but he can't because no one's dead yet.
Yeah. Very aggressive Genji, surviving through a lot there. And I think they're going to win this one. Zed's popping the Biotic Field onto the point, keeping his DPS buddy alive. And now the Tac Visor comes through. It's very late, but is there a front line to protect them? Crystallize with the 2-man res to keep his butt alive. And the Tac Visor ends, and it's going to be a one fight for very aggressive Genji. Through all the ultimates, they will end up with the point.
And that was a hell of a fight. I had no clue what the fuck was happening at the start of that.
Yeah, that was the oh shit, I think we're gonna lose this, pop more ults. Fire all the ultimates!
Oh, Jesus. Oh shit buttons were pressed.
Yeah.
And looks like ult economy is back to 0 for everyone except for your Pendrai coming in with the Lucio ult.
And that might be all that's required to win this one. One good defensive sound barrier could really knock the sails out of a Genji or a flanking soldier here. And they're going in onto Dano. Maybe he jumped a little too far, but his supports will keep him alive. Crystallize with a damage boost on the Josh Danko. Traded 1-for-1, but we're now into this May. Trans from CU in the finals, for CU in the finals to keep them alive onto the point. Discord on to the Winston. Think Twice with the Death Blossom. Gonna pick up 2 on CU in the finals. No Mercy res for them. And this will be the last fight.
That is, that's a 1 game, I believe, unless Zed can jump on, but it looks like the boop is coming through, and the overtime!
Babluer, he gets the ice block onto the ramp. He's going to use the wall to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Hides behind it, too, and now the team is coming in from CU in the finals, but it's going to be a 5v6 at best. Primal Rage is popped by Dano. They're not done. They're going to keep fighting this one out. Josh Danko with his pharmacy. Who can take him out from the enemy team? The Discord goes down, but he stays alive. Graviton from Chromatic gonna reel in a lot of CU in the finals, and they're gonna go down. DPS is the only one alive. Last ditch effort. The overtime nearly expiring and almost ending the map, but Crystallized with a nice tempo res at the end, and very aggressive Genji takes Ilios.
And CU in the finals did not go down without a fight. Let's see what the play of the game here was. Josh Danko.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's a rocket barrage or not. There's a lot of good spam. Wow, in that little building. Does a lot of damage, but only picks up 1 limb, maybe 2. Nice.
I think that was 3.
3? Oh, is that the triple kill on Ilios? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, I like that. I like that when the plays of the game aren't just ultimates, they're just some nice, solid, simple play.
good old fair for you.
Yep. So 1-0 lead here in the match for very aggressive Genji. So they'll ban 4 maps, and see you in the finals will pick a map that is remaining. They cannot. Well, I guess no, they're not picking yet, but might come in handy later with the Ilios win. In map 3. I'd assume that they would take out. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Every time I speculate on this, like on what maps teams are gonna ban, I'm always wrong. I don't know the reasons why people ban the maps they do. I think it's just personal preference, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, it's just team preference. It's not even so much of a strategic thing most of the time. I don't really know.
You're right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of strategy involved. It's just like, oh, we hate Nimbani, get that out of there. Oh, we hate Watchpoint Jabroni, get that one out of there.
Well, or even sometimes it's, oh, we hate all the 2 points, and I mean,
Yep.
no reason other than they're just 2-point maps.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like there's a little bit more than just 2 points that they're banning. Nimbani, Eichenwald, Volskaya, and Hanamura. 2 hybrids, 2 points.
Yeah, precisely. And leaving up Anubis as the final 2 point. Once again, Horizon, Zero Dawn not playable today.
Next
That's good. King's Row.
Yeah, and Kings Row, I think, is a very See You in the finals, I think, has played this.
Yeah,
map
they
every time.
won last week against Winstony Baloney in a second round battle. Both teams going 3-3, and then on the second round, See You in the finals was able to cap that first point. So yeah, it seems like they like this one a lot. I know they employed a Bastion plus like kind of a barrier watch strategy, or Risa and Reinhardt to protect it.
Yeah, it seems like that's a pretty standard thing to expect from the team, especially if you're attacking. But it's worked effectively. You can expect it, but you got to beat it. You know, you got to pick the right characters. You got to be in the right places, and it's effective for them, I guess.
Now entering King's Row.
So we'll have very aggressive Genji on the blue side, and See You in the finals on the red side once again. And I think it's the red team defending. Nope, maybe blue team. I don't know. See, Overwatch, I don't think there's a standard.
I don't know.
I don't know, but do you think we'll see some Symmetra?
I believe your Pendry, especially if he's on defense, will bust out the Symmetra, but that's... I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I always like watching him play. But it looks like they're going to...
Oh,
dear.
there it is. And is he running out of spawn?
He's running out of spawn.
Oh,
he's playing
yeah.
Symmetra. There's no troll in here. He's
Nice.
busting it out.
Yeah, so single heal composition with the Symmetra, gonna be a Mercy. Also, he has a lot of good targets to Guardian Angel too, both D.Va and Pharah, and then just the ground patrol with Soldier and Zarya. So a lot of mobility possible for this Mercy to stay alive, and we have Wee on the Hanzo. It might be just for the Sonic Arrow Scout, and then maybe switch over to a Pharah. Or actually probably a Genji with this composition. Now running Balboa on this Reinhardt. Now this would be interesting.
Yeah,
With
I
the
don't know.
Winston, yeah.
Kind of like a half dive comp, half stay behind. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll find out.
Yep. So a little bit of Ferris fan coming in as they push through the main opening here. Balboa with that shield to keep his team alive. They'll rotate through and get statue control. Both teams playing very close and up front here. Your Pendry sort of scattering his turrets kind of everywhere. A little bit of randomness, and now there goes Reinhardt and Winston onto the Symmetra. But are they able to take him out? Biotic Field is popped to keep him alive. Balboa, he's going to pick up, just a D-Mac, but a kill onto your Pendry, so no early teleporter or shield gen to help out to help out very aggressive Genji. And Zed and Valkyria, they're picking up kills of their own, so this looks like a one first fight for See You in the finals.
very convincing too. I know Josh Danko's trying his damnedest up top there, but he's not gonna be able to stop that train. And something to note is that they, very aggressive Genji didn't really have the tools to hold the choke. They just had to stay back to the point, allowing, as you said earlier, statue control for CU in the finals. And once they get that, it's, you know, another step and you're on the point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know where a lot of the turrets were for your Pendrai either. It seemed like should have been a little bit more in that upfront area.
They were at the beginning, I believe. A lot of them were, and he got his ult fairly early. He just couldn't drop it in time.
Yeah.
Before he died.
Yeah, unfortunate, but they actually stick him on this still here for the streets phase, which you can find some good value out of Symmetra here. And see in the finals, they're battling. Wee's got the Deadeye. New McCree, and just like old McCree, presses Q and immediately dies. Nothing changed. War never changes, folks. And Valkyria with the defensive transcendence to top off his team. I don't know if it's really needed. Primal Rage was channeled as well. But there's even more ultimates coming through. Josh Dangle from the top! 4-man Rocket Barrage!
Oh.
No resurrection for CU at the finals.
Enemy seen.
And Josh Danko starting with that ult, and Chromatic being the player that he is, just knowing instantly, I gotta fucking put these people in a gravity well right now.
Yeah, his Graviton's pretty on point. They're really reeling in like majority of the team. It's just a matter of whether they can get that Rocket Barrage over the top. And oh, big juicy 4-man Earth Shatter, Death Blossom over the top from Zedekis. CU in the finals might win this one decisively, but Thor and your Pendrai, they're trading back kills though. Babu are swinging and they find the teleporter.
Oh, cheeky teleporter!
Very aggressive Genji. They just funnel out straight onto the payload. And they'll win that fight!
It is so unfortunate that Blabur did the Reinhardt charge during Zed's Death Blossom, because that would have been a play of the game from him, honestly. I think that was better than Josh Danko's Pharaoh ult, but that one simple shift was able to let the teleporter be useful and not killed instead, and very aggressive Genji gets to keep the point here.
Yeah, and they still have this res in their pocket. Josh Danko, he's almost channeled up a Rocket Barrage. Only 50% though on the Graviton, so maybe without some additional utility ultimates for the Rocket Barrage, but they might still want to use it. They're breaking the shield, but Blue's shield down very low, and a nade comes through to try to top off their heal. Josh Danko picks up 2 with Rocket Barrage, and see in the finals they might get pushed back here. Blue just shifting in with the suicide, and they just, he's walking out, but he's gonna get killed, and Zed, can he hang on? And I think he does. Oh! Just kidding. Wow, that was aggressive.
A really good aggressive play by Think Twice, going in there, getting into Zed's face.
Staggering the team even more.
That late pick is going to be important for this next fight.
Yeah, no, Babur, he walked in without his team, and same with Valkyria, so they're going to get staggered in further, so a lot of disorganization from seeing the finals, and yeah, they're just going to have to stick by the spawn and wait for full 6 here. But Think Twice and Thor now. Self-destruct and Death Blossom. Think Twice going up top with the Shadow Step. Josh Danko is also up there. And yeah, they're going to be looking for the flank Death Blossom with Think Twice. Do they know he's up there on that second floor? He's looking for it. He's going to possibly jump down. Nano Boost goes onto Babur, lays down the Earth Shatter, knocks down the enemy front line. But the kills being traded back and forth. Crystallize having the only 1-man res there to stay alive. Dano's the only guy on the point for CU in the finals, and Blur's got to run out of this one. And we'll go down. 1:30 left, and CU in the finals is stonewalled here on streets.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting corner to be stuck on. Typically, this is pretty easy to blow through. It's that second corner near where your Pendrai put the teleporter previous. You know.
Yeah. I wonder how many, can we see how many charges that has? I mean, at least 3 or 4 were used in the last fight, so maybe not a lot of potential usefulness out of that. You almost want it to kind of be dead and maybe put the shield jet now in this situation, but Dano22, he's going to use Primal Rage to start the fight off. The Sleep Dart misses. Self-destruct. Not going to be able to pick up anyone though, but Chromatic's going to be the first one to go down here. Your Pendrai, he's got him on the leash. He's got that Symmetra charging onto Dano. Josh Danko over the top, picks up 1 before he's defensive matrixed, and they're gonna be pushing the point here. See you in the finals, but think twice. He's in the way back on this Reaper. Gets booped. Oh no, Shadow Step and or Wraith Form. Wii U with Attack Visor, and see the finals gonna decisively win this. 3-man res comes through into the Graviton. Teleporter is now down, but Josh Danko came through with a double kill.
This is pretty easily very aggressive Genji's. Chromatic, Crystallize is 3-man res in there in the middle of that, as well as the teleporter. Made a huge comeback. For very aggressive Genji, just simply keep this point, and with no time to spare.
Yeah, wow. See in the finals, they had a good push there going, but they had to use a lot of ultimates and spread out over a very long period of time. And yeah, Crystallize, he just waited on that 3-man res really coming in the clutch into that Graviton. So a very good hold from very aggressive Genji. That is a very short amount of distance here on King's Row.
Oh yeah, and I don't think very aggressive Genji is going to have that big of a problem, seeing how this point seems to fall very quick no matter what team's defending it. I don't know why, but the BOL apparently is not good at King's Row defending the first point.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if it's any team though, it is team in the finals. They did it last week, one time, and just like last week, like I said, their Zed's on this Bastion. It's a matter of whether they they don't have Cruise Master with them today.
No, they don't.
So we won't see the Orisa, but she is also disabled. So the barrier watch tactic going to be a little less effective unless they run a Winston bubble over the top. But that's not going to be the case. They're going to do just a standard 2-2-2 composition with the Bastion filling in as one of those DPS slots along with McCree. So I guess we'll see how they play this one out. Zed positioning by the phone booth. So pretty good spot for him on this Bastion. But really, it's the question of what very aggressive Genji's going to run for their offense. And it looks like very standard dive with that Chromatic, or with Chromatic on the Zarya.
Yeah, and Chromatic Zarya has been doing a lot of work these games in general. I didn't think he was that great of a tank player, but I guess I've never seen him play as tank.
Oh yeah, dude, he's a Zarya master, man. He's very. That was one of the first heroes he picked up when he started playing Overwatch. But since then, having to fill in some DPS slots on this team, not too shabby at that either. But I think honestly, the Zarya is where he really shines. So yeah, totally agree with that point. Doing a lot of work in the Zarya, and Thor, he jumps in by himself, and Liu's gonna pick up that headshot real quick.
Thor learned very quickly is that you cannot kill a Bastion as a Winston.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna start mixing this up because, yeah, I mean, there's no barriers for them to hide behind. Granted, Bastion does shed barriers very fast. What's the answer here?
Looks like Thor switched to D.Va, so that's definitely a better pick against Bastion than Winston.
Yep, going to be able to eat all that up, though. A little two-man flank from seeing the finals, but Wii was going to pay the price. Chromatic punishing that move on the McCree. And Bastion, he's set up in this corner pocket. AJ0 with that one-man res to keep this fight fair. 6v6, though. But Thor and Josh Danko, they're coming through in the clutch for very aggressive Genji. Chromatic is very charged up. It's a matter of whether this front line will go down. Dano's swinging. He's got the Orb of Harmony, but he's going to shift out and die to the boop, actually, from your pen dry. So not as quick as see you in the finals, but they're going to pick up first point here in King's Row.
Yeah, and the unsung hero of that fight from very aggressive Genji was just Josh Danko and Think Twice just doing straight up DPS everywhere. I mean, they both seem very uncontested and just kind of cleaned up.
Yep. See, looks like very aggressive Genji. They're pushing up with a couple characters, seeing what they could maybe straggle together here. See if anyone got the shit spawn. The last one. But looks like it's going to be a fair 6v6 coming in here. Zed? Oh, Josh Danko goes... Wow. Zed shadow steps up to a platform I had no idea existed in this game.
I just saw that too.
Wow. And yeah, they have the advantage to 6v5. They make it a 6v4. And they're going deep. Dano with the charge in, gonna split the uprights, hit nobody, but looks like his team's winning the fight decisively. He's not gonna get too punished for this. And very aggressive Genji. They just have to fight to stay alive in their own spawn area. Now Josh Danko, he's getting staggered.
And see you in the finals is just way up ahead. Like
They're
this is the
pushing this
farthest
back.
you can get up, and they're holding it. They're holding that cart.
They're gonna push it back in the garage and shut the door on very aggressive Genji if they keep playing the way they do. But they're being smart. They're gonna defend this choke point here through the archway. Both Graviton surges up for Bablur and Chromatic. One comes out. Rocket Barrage over the top. 4 men go down. But a
Great
4-man res from See You in the Finals. Ryu with this Deadeye on the back. Only going to pick up Thor. Self-destructs also get flown back. And See You in the Finals, See You in the Finals win the fight pretty decisively.
That was a great res by AJS0. I have no clue where he was even sitting. I don't know if he was in that Graviton, but that, what was that, 4 or 5 people?
Yeah, it was at least a 4-man grab there, most likely 5. But yeah, both grabs used in that fight. Crystallized though with this res, so I'd have to say the ultimate economy should favor very aggressive Genji here, but they're getting held pretty decisively here at this choke.
It's really hard to find out why. I mean, Dano is up there up front with the shield, but they don't. You know, maybe they need to employ some shield breakers. They're more focused on flanking, it seems, with Thor in the back right now. But I guess that worked.
Yeah, and Dano and Zed, they were pushing it a little too far. Their backline wasn't there to help support them, and that might mean everything. Those 2 staggered kills are huge. Josh Danko, he's picking up 2 more, and the res wasn't even up at AJ0 going down. Rocket Barrage to really secure the win. And there it is, very aggressive Genji pushing on through in the streets phase, and they pick up King's Row.
Yeah, it seems like they were able to get their act together at the end there.
I guess that's probably more reason why See You in the Finals was playing so aggressively there, because they kind of knew, man, if we lose just one fight here on the streets phase, we just lose the map outright. So.
Josh Danko, which one, Josh? Which one?
Teleporter flies on up, but no one doing anything about that. Blab not even holding up the shield, and very easy 4 kills there. See you later.
Yeah, 2 other ones, Josh.
Wow,
Neither of
13 barrage kills, 5 rocket barrages. Some pretty exquisite fair play from him so far in this match.
Chromatic with the alley-oops on those as well. That was very impressive from both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the 2-star players, very aggressive Genji, they keep on shining to a 2-0 tune in this match here. So once again, 4 bans will come through from very aggressive Genji, and seeing the finals, trying to see if they can pick up one win here today.
Yeah, it's looking a little grim for them. They get to pick again here, and I don't see why very aggressive Genji wouldn't go with the same bans they had last time. And
Yeah.
something I really want to talk about. I'm very disappointed that there's not as many Genjis running around these maps.
Yeah, it's a little odd. Yeah, I would have thought Chromatic be running it a little bit more. Blab usually likes to default to that Diva, and out of all the DPS characters, he does have that best matchup. From basically just not getting, anti-carried out of a fight with the defense matrix. But there it is. So yeah, you're right. Same bans, and the Anubis. The Anubis is picked. So seeing the finals, maybe playing a little bit of cheese here, a little bit of spiciness, a lot of creative strats here on Anubis.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to bring out that Bastion play again for this map. Anubis is kind of a Bastion cheese map.
Just up front, yeah. This is the Bastion cheese map.
It is. I mean,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Not gonna
Also, Widow.
sugarcoat it.
Yeah, Widow also performs pretty well here on this first point.
This is true.
So I mean, Chromatic, he's been known to take out that pocket pick in Widow. Possibly might see him on that again today. Also, May has a good place here, especially on second point. Super powerful. I will be right back.
All right. Well, I will talk about desert here. It's very nice. This is Egypt. Not to be confused with other desert-like areas, such as, I don't know, Arizona. And it looks like the team comps for See You in the Finals is going to be pretty standard. No dive or anything like that. Wii U, don't know who he's going to play at just quite yet. But for defense, very aggressive Genji, Chromatic staying on that Zarya, Thor picking up that D.Va again, and Josh Danko still on that Pharah. So those are kind of the three main, some of the, well, three of the picks. Think Twice also on the Soldier. That's going to be very important, especially if See You in the Finals comes out with a Pharah, which I don't believe they would, but Think Twice is still good on that Soldier. And then your Pen Dry and Crystallize, same healers they've been having. But on the attacking side, Valkyr on Ana. I know Valkyr is really good long distance healer in general between the Zen and the Ana.
Hello.
Oh, hello. I was just talking about the See You in the Finals team right now. So Blab going back on that D.Va, Dano being that frontline tank. There's no dive here. It looks pretty standard. Behind the shield, Reinhardt, and go slowly in.
Yep. And they, See You in the Finals on this offense. No Mercy though to pair with the Pharah up top. Oh wait, sorry, they're on defense here. Crystallize and Josh Danko, they're the pharmacy on the attack here.
Yeah, Leo's kind of alone with AJS0 being the only, not the only source of healing, but there's no Pharah or no Mercy is the main point.
Yeah,
No
and very aggressive Genji. They push in 4 quickly onto this right side, but they keep the pharmacy at the main gate, maybe just to put pressure on 2 fronts here. Fire Strike from Dano's gonna pick up the first kill though onto Think Twice, and might be that all that's needed to win the first little skirmish here. Blabur, he's gonna get demech'd inside this right room, and he's gonna get taken out by your Pen Dry. He's a fragger, and Zed picking up Josh Danko. And the thing is, though, on Anubis, the attacking team has a very big spawn advantage. So they will funnel in resources a little bit quicker than the defense. Kind of the design of 2 points in general, but something to take note. Just dying one character on defense can be really huge on a map like Anubis. And
it seems like See You in the Finals is not really dying. As I say that, Wii U falling to Chromatic.
Yep, AJ0 pops the trans a little preemptively, thinking there's going to be a little bit more of a retaliation, and your Pen Dry, he'll take up the sound barrier to answer. Tac Visor from Think Twice, seeing what he can pick up, picks up only at AJ0, so still that Ana alive for See You in the Finals. He does have that nano boost as well. Zedekis with the Tac Visor over the top. Dano's going to shield as much as he can from the rocket barrage of Josh Danko, but 4 kills for very aggressive Genji.
Yeah, I think this is theirs. Very convincingly. Not too much of a surprise. This first point's normally pretty easy to get on Anubis.
Yeah, it's really just a battle of how long can you hold it for, because you probably will lose it. And they held it up a little under 2 minutes left, and so after that cap, 5 minutes and 30-some seconds on the clock for very aggressive Genji.
Yeah, and it looks like Wii U is switching to the Reaper.
Yep, Reaper pretty effective here on this close quarters second point as well, and he can jump in from the top little platforms in Death Blossom, so a lot of good value from Reaper potentially.
Yeah, there's a lot of nooks and crannies where he can be, and he's kind of fighting on that right side by himself, but getting picked by Josh Danko.
Yeah, ooh, that's big. Yeah, Pharmacy flying in here now. Thor with that self-destruct might pop it early just to zone him off the point here, but See You in the Finals, they're staying tight and they're staying grouped, but push back into the cubby. The 2 supports go down. Self-destruct now coming through from Babur. Maybe just to keep the point alive and wait for his teammates to come back, because they are losing this fight outright. Very aggressive Genji. They are just methodical in taking down the people here. We with the Wraith form through, Crystallize with the 2-man res, and Think Twice using Attack Visor to secure this point. They already have 2 ticks, and it's being channeled, and there is the cap. 4 minutes and 28 seconds left. So a very fast Anubis time for very aggressive Genji.
And that was a very strategic cap with how they did that. You know, just taking people one by one. It didn't seem like a big flashy team fight, but you know.
Yep, it just staggered kill into staggered kill, and just calling out targets as they come in. So some good focus fire and teamwork from very aggressive Genji. We'll see what they can do here on defense. See in the finals. I don't know what Wii is gonna run here. I feel like you could run Pharah pretty effectively, but perhaps not against Think Twice. He is on that soldier. So, and D.Va also another threat to that Pharah in the sky. And yeah, so he'll go with the Genji here on offense.
And your pen drive busting out that Symmetra again. Looks like
Ooh,
a standard defense comp on their team for an Anubis. I mean, they don't really have a front line with the Reinhardt, but you know, maybe they don't need it.
Yeah, they got a lot of I mean, just basically a defense matrix, but some well-timed bubbles from Chromatic will keep those key members alive.
Yeah, see, in the finals really has to start picking it up if they don't want to get skunked. It's unfortunate, but it might happen. They gotta come through. I don't know what they could change to make it happen. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean I share the same sentiment, and I feel like they just gotta work as a team here and try to take out key members. Josh Danko on this Pharah though, he has just been solely uncontested a lot of the times, I think, and whether that's running 2 hit scans or hit scan and Zen or running your own pharmacy, I think something needs to be done about that. And that's not going to be the case here. No reliable air defense for seeing the finals. They have Reaper, Genji, and Mei, and they'll wall off that main bridge area so they can sneak through onto this left side. But they're gonna get pushed into that little room.
Blab is deep in enemy lines here, and it looks like they're effectively pushing. I guess not terribly.
Yeah, I mean 1 for 2. D-Mech though, so Baby D.Va is out for Thor. And Think Twice, he's still in this bridge area. Still raining in a lot of DPS on the side, and your Pendragon pick up another kill on Zed, so a definitely slowed down first push here from seeing the finals. But now Dano22, he is up, he jumps in, pushes them away with that bubble. Before he goes in deep, he's gonna have the ice block right in front of the enemy team. No wall yet, and he just gets it up, but he'll go down. Josh Danko picking up that kill. Chromatic answering back with another one. And Josh Danko, he's getting Winston, but another clutch bubble will keep him alive for the fight. And seeing the finals, they're just going down one by one.
Yeah, they're gonna have to turn tail and run. And something that I really wanted to bring up on Helios is that Dano's had to try and deal with that Pharah on Josh Danko. He, as Winston, he had to jump into the air once. I know Wii at the time he was playing Genji as well. They both had to deal with Pharah on one of the Ruins maps, I believe. And it's kind of the same story right now. Zed's really got to switch that soldier and help him.
Yep, and your Pendrive with that ultimate, it lays on something, I'm not sure what it is yet, but Rocket Roger, Josh Danko, Think Choice also with the Tact Visor, so all the offensive ults being blown here for very aggressive Genji, and that will win them the fight. And it looks like this is a teleporter. Real close. Under 2 minutes left for seeing the finals, so just to take this first point. The ult economy, though, is favoring them. They almost have all 6 ults coming in here.
I can see a Nano Blade coming in soon from seeing the finals.
Yep. Pushing through onto the right side, they're gonna get hit up, and Graviton only pulling in Blabur, and then Valkyrie on the side. He's gonna dodge the self-destruct, but doesn't dodge the Zarya. Zedekis with the 2-man Death Blossom, Dano22 also getting in on that. Sound Barrier will keep them alive through the push onto the first point, and Thor and Chromatic, the front line for very aggressive Genji, is the only ones alive. For you, Pendrive comes around the corner, says, "What's up, I'm Symmetra." Can he lay down the Symmetra deeps?
That teleporter is going to save him the point.
Oh!
That teleporter.
Yep. Brings back the most crucial member in Symmetra, charges up the beam, gets 3 kills for himself. Blabur gonna get staggered out here, it looks like. And yeah, now we just have a minute left for seeing the finals.
See in the finals only has one more push, and again, Josh Danko is still doing work. He's on fire along with Chromatic, and it seems like they don't have an answer. Winston can't really deal with either of them that well. Neither, I guess.
Anna's really the
Blur-
only one. I mean, you have May too, but you're saying, oh, I'm gonna hit icicles onto a flying Pharah. It's a little more difficult than it sounds on paper, and yeah, they just haven't done anything to mix it up. D.Va would be good here, but they're gonna push in with this composition. They have 3 ultimates. Labur maybe looking for a spot where he can lay down that ice, but AJS Zero, he gets taken out early by Josh Danko, and it's gonna be another one fight. Temple Res comes through from Crystallize. Zedeka's doing some work on this Reaper here. Tac Visor for Think Twice. There's a Winston behind him. Will he find out? Oh, there
Not
he
in
is.
time.
Not in time. Well, I mean, his team won the fight, though. See, in the finals, not able even to cap the first point on Anubis, and it's gonna be that 3-0 match for very aggressive Genji.
Final score 0-2.
What do you think about that? Did you expect that coming in today?
No, I did not.
Yeah, no, I did not expect that either. I knew with Blab coming back into the lineup this week,
And
definitely
Josh
thought they're going to be a
Danko for
force.
the 3rd play of the game.
Oh man, this guy's a monster on Pharah, and just look at this, just casually floats on in, Rocket Barrage, Sleep Dart misses, and yep, there's the emote.
Took him like a day to pick that emote. Like, come on. Oh.
Has to juice it out, and
Wow.
yeah. Yep, Crystallize there. 23 defensive assists, 51 KP for him. Solid Mercy play, but it's just paired with another solid Pharah, so the Pharmacy doing a lot of work for very aggressive Genji today.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Chromatic too on that Zarya as well doing some work, and you know the other unsung DPS.
Think twice.
Think Twice.
Yep.
Also laying down the damage. I mean, he didn't make big plays, but he was very consistent when they needed him, and he was able to pick people out of the sky. He filled his role proper.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so that will do it here for game 1 of week 4. We'll be back real quickly with Lenny Face going up against Winstony Baloney. Stay tuned.